My name is Alexi Pappas, and I'm an Olympian, writer, and filmmaker. And today, I'm going to be answering all the questions you've been sending me. I've followed you for years and take so much inspiration from your poetry, writing, and outlook on both running and life. With the whole world in flux right now, I've struggled to believe in myself and my path when it all just feels aimless. Any words of wisdom? Getting outside and having the health to run is a gift, yet I often feel anxious when it used to be my happy place. It sounds like you're having doubts about where you're going, and I suggest that while we can't control what goals we used to have, trying to find goals that you can accomplish right now is the best thing you can do. So shifting goals from date-oriented, race-focused goals to more personal growth goals or personal weakness goals that you could work on regardless of whether or not the race happens or not. If running doesn't feel how it always felt, that's okay. How we feel right now is not how we will feel forever. And feeling okay that it's a little bit unpredictable, and knowing that those other goals that are being taken away from you, your aimlessness, that will evolve. But right now, find goals that you can chase. I noticed that you use supplements in your routine, and I was wondering, do you think that they really help you? There are elements of your training that are glamorous, and you write down you ran this time for your mile repeat, or you slept this many hours, but there are also subtle things, boxes that you must check that are helping you as well. And for me, my routine with my Nordic naturals is just as important as all the other elements of my training. And it's something that I count on as a reliable teammate. It is there. It's something I don't think about anymore because I've incorporated it in and it's part of my routine. But it's made a huge difference for me, and I haven't been injured since. What is your go-to post-race meal? I love sushi, Greek food, but my number one post-race meal would be to find something local to wherever the race is and get that cuisine. What does balance mean to you? Okay, I think balance means that I am proud of myself but want more out of myself at the same time. To me, that literally means that I'm able to be content and proud of the things that I've done and that I'm doing, but I also am chasing my big dreams and bigger dreams. How do you know if what you are doing is the right thing? This is in regards to both training and life in general. I've given this advice before, but truly the best thing I can say is to imagine that the thing that you're chasing is taken away from you. How do you feel? Do you feel a sense of relief? Or do you feel this gnawing want or desire to keep chasing that thing? That's helped me with decisions about, should I buy this dress or not? But also bigger life decisions of, should I keep chasing this dream? And I hope it helps you too. Are there any healthy foods you hated as a kid but love now? Yes, salmon. So when I was a kid, love my dad, but he prepared salmon with this preparation that was not so delicious. It didn't really honor that salmon can have attitude and energy. It was sort of baked all the way through with dried dill. Now I know better, and I cook my salmon hard sear. I eat the skin, I get wild salmon, and I love it. I love salmon. But that was a food that is a night and day from when I was a kid to now. What's your game plan when you have an injury, an illness, but also a race on the horizon? I suppose my game plan is to do everything I can to be the best athlete I can be. So to heal the injury, to heal the illness, but also to understand that I might have to change the goal. And that's okay. As an Olympic athlete, filmmaker, actress, and writer, you probably face a substantial amount of pressure to be perfect and live up to so many people's expectations. How do you deal with pressure and the pressure to be perfect? So the truth is, there have been times in my life when I feel that the way people see me is not how I feel myself. That really came to a head for me after the Olympics, when everybody expects that you're on top of the world. And I did have an amazing experience, and broke a national record. Like on paper, I was amazing. But the truth was I was like very depleted, and anybody chasing a dream for that long like needs to take pause. And I think when I tried to not pause or tried to be the perfect person that people wanted me to be, I crashed even farther. And so I had to learn, I think the hard way, that I can't like perform or be on or be excellent all the time. And that's okay. When I have those moments where like there's a disconnect, I try to do for me what's useful. I was focused on like that word useful. And it might mean slowing down. It might mean being public about that. But sometimes it means being with just my family and taking the time before I go back out into the world and put myself in those situations. So I think the answer is that I haven't always dealt with it amazingly, but I'm learning how to either be honest with people or take the time I need to be more selfish with my time so that I can then go into the world and be what it is that we all hope I can be, I suppose. If you could bring only 3 items to a deserted island, what would they be? I would bring my husband Jeremy. See an item, because that would be really fun. I would bring, I think, a source of music, maybe like a radio, if it would work, so that I could stay connected to the world and have that like input. I think that would help me. And well, I guess some sort of survival tool, right? Like a pocket knife with all the gadgets that come out so I could catch my food. Has your diet changed since moving from the States to train in Greece? Yes, actually, when I went to Greece, I learned how important carbs are to marathon training. I was told that carbs are like the kindling and your body or your fat is the firewood. So you need to like light the firewood. So I was embracing carbs as like a bigger part of my focus, and I ate a lot of olive oil. Do you have any heroes or role models that you look up to? So I call my heroes and role models like in the book that I wrote, it's called The Mentor Buffet. I grew up without a mom, and that was challenging because I didn't have like one keystone mentor that some people have in their life, but I felt like I could have everybody else. And so ever since I was little, and I will never outgrow this, I've looked up to soccer players. It was Mia Hamm when I was little. It's teachers, it's parents, it's friends' parents. It's people I don't even know that I've just like met because I've listened to the podcast with them on it. I've just looked up to people pretty shamelessly and adopted qualities from them as if it was a mentor buffet. How do you deal with self-doubt, your inner critic? I've tried to have a better relationship with my inner critic over time and accepted that the voice inside my head isn't always going to be the most productive one, but leaving it inside my head is like the most unhelpful thing. I'll express it out loud. Like I'm saying this thing to myself, and I'll either say it to myself or talk to a friend or a partner about it. And I found that has allowed, I guess it's like my heart and my brain to connect in a way where I can see that that's not a reasonable thought to have. You can kind of like disempower those negative thoughts by putting them in front of you and giving them their moment and then letting them go away. How does your Greek heritage impact your life? So I'm a dual citizen and I competed for Greece in the Olympics, and it's had a huge role in my life because one, the Olympics started in Greece, and when you go to the Olympics as a Greek athlete, there is this sense of this is more than just my Olympic dream. It's like a country's history and it's everybody's Olympic dream. So I just felt different there. And then when I go to Greece, I encounter a lot of young female athletes who have talked to me and looked at me because I have a muscular body and it's not the norm over there still. There are female athletes, but there are fewer of them. And so for me, it's been a privilege to show them just by being there that they can choose to be an athlete if they want. And that's okay. Like to chase those dreams and to have big muscles is like a perfectly okay and great thing to do. How do I commit to running while honoring the intersections of my identity and self? I don't want to be one thing or even defined by anything, yet collegiate athletics forces me to be a runner. This is a question of identity and wanting to be more than one thing. And I've definitely faced this myself. And I think the important thing is to allow yourself to be on a different path than other people, detaching from the should-bes of the world, and then keying into like what it is that would make you your most realized self, and accepting that your full commitment to running looks different than other people's full commitment to running. So I think understanding that your like most realized self will look different than your teammates, and your teammate will do what they need to do, but you choose what you need to do and like move forth with the energy that it will make you better overall. And it will.